Hello guys, so back again with another video. So previously we built To-Do web app using React.js, and now today we are building To-Do app using React Native, which is basically a app. So we are making or building clone of Done app. So if you want to download that Done app, so you have to just go to Play Store, search here as Done To Do, and you will get this first app done. So just check this app icon, and download this and open this app. So yes, this we will build this app exact same. So why we will build this app? First of all, this to do app is like a basic hello world for any framework. And second, this UI is more simpler, and I like this UI like this, means simplistic UI. So let me show you what are the things we will do in this app. So first one is add to do app, means add task. So to add task, what I have to do is I have to click on plus icon, and then I have to add here like task 10, and to save this task I have to click here. Okay, done. So add task. If I want to, I have to say like this task is complete. So for that, if I click on this checkbox, then it is marked as task complete. If I click again on that checkbox, then task is incomplete. Okay, so this is for task complete or not. And if I want to edit this, suppose if I want to edit task 10 here, so what I have to do, I have to click over this text, and I have to say type anything, like if I want to say edit, and to save again I have to click on this. Okay, so this is edit. Now if I want to delete this, then now if I want to delete this task, then I have to click on this close button. If I want to delete this task, then I will click on this button. Okay, suppose if I want to delete first task, then I will click this cross icon or close sign to delete this task. And there is one more feature which I found interesting, is I can rearrange items. If I hold here, wait a minute, not here. If I hold here and drag, I can rearrange items. Suppose task 1 is at bottom, okay, currently at bottom, and I want this task 1 to be at top, so I will just drag this. Okay, so likewise, so there are 4 operations we have to do. Okay, this is more simplistic UI. We don't add this a menu bar or menu icon here, just a simple app name, then this task and the plus icon. So let me just explain you the steps. So first step is add task. Okay, to add task, what we have to do is when I click on fab icon, means when I or user click on fab icon, the input box will show up, and I can type the task here and save using the keyboard button. Okay, then second point is task complete. Suppose if I click on checkbox, then it it can mark as complete. If I click again, then it will be marked as incomplete. Okay. Then to edit, if user click on task like this, then he can edit this. Okay. And delete. To delete, if user click on this cross sign, then user can delete this. User can rearrange items as I show here. User can rearrange. Okay, so these tasks. So so we need, I think, one library for this fab icon or font awesome, not font awesome, fab button, and we need another library for checkbox, and we need another library for tracking this item. Okay, so first install uh, fab library. Okay, so we will install this fab. Okay, then we want checkbox. So again, I will go here and say React native checkbox. Okay, React native checkbox. I think React native checkbox we have uh, React native checkbox library. So this is for React native checkbox. Wait, I will show you here. And we need okay. So we need these four libraries. Okay. So first one is React native fab. So we want this fab icon. So I will copy this part. So I am using yar. So what I will do here is I will say yar add uh, React native fab. Then I want this checkbox also. Okay, it will take time to install. Okay, so let's install these libraries too. Trackable and we are going to do vector icon. React native vector icons. I can type this React native vector icons. Okay, so let's install these packages. So let's run one command to link these packages. So React Native link. This is not required in React Native. I think point 60 after point 60, but we will do this. Okay, so React Native link, especially React Native vector icons, React Native vector icons, and React Native checkbox. Okay, so successfully linked. React Native checkbox. Okay, successfully linked. Also do this with draggable, and also with the fab. Okay, so that's it. So everything is ready. So what we will do, so this is just empty project. Okay, you can see just a hello here. So this is just empty project. So let's run this here. So this is not an emulator. I am running this my mobile using Scrappy. So let me just show you this GitHub repo so you will get idea. Okay, so this is application provided to display and control mobile device through USB. So it is like SCRCPY means Scrappy. Okay, so yes, we can use this tool. Okay, just use this command or download using download. If you are using Linux, then download using apt. If you are using Mac OS, do this. Just read the documentation and you will get idea. It is easy to install. Okay, so uh, I think in this mobile dark mode is activated. So I have no dark mode. I have to check if dark mode is running or not. To do that, I will just click on this display over apps. Okay, because currently is background is nothing, so it should be white, but it is gray now. So let me just check my settings. Uh, say dark theme. Dark theme is on, so I have to. Okay, let's try. Okay, you can see this. Okay, so what we will do first is let's open both apps. Okay, so first I want this UI. First I want input box. Okay, so let's try this. So what we will do now is this is a list of tasks. This is fab icon and this is input. Okay, input means okay, this is input. So we divide this like flat list. Sorry, uh, wait a minute. Can I take a screenshot? Okay, so we will divide like this. This part, this part as a one component. This is another component. This input box is another component, and this task means this row as another component. So let's try this. So first we will start with input. So I will create one folder here as src, and in this I will say input input.js. Okay, and I will say rnfs. This is just extension of VS Code. So you will see I'm using more shortcuts because it is easy for me. Okay, so I will say here text input. What is this? What is this? Okay, so we have text input, and in our app.js I will import that component. For now, let's import that component here. So I will say here text, you can select input. Okay, I have to import this like this. Import input from src folder in file. So let's open this app. Why there is no change? Okay, where you can see as we want. So we can share anything, and we can say this to close. We can click on OK. If we can click on this icon, it get close. Okay, that's it. So that's what we wanted. So let's go and build this list. Okay. So for that, what I will do here is first we want this that header, or you can select app. So let's do that. Header.js rnfs rnfs, and I will say here as done, and I will import this here like a header. What happened? Okay, so what I will do is I will add this, and here we want header, not headers, just a header, which is also from src folder and header. If we check this in app, you can see done here. Okay, so what we want style here as style. I will say styles dot text styles dot text as font weight bold, then font size 20 or maybe 24, not 24, just 20. Let's keep it 20, and a color 000 or maybe 333, which is kind of grayish. Okay, and style of header, styles of header, I have to say padding vertical or padding is equal to 5 from all the sides, and padding horizontal is equal to 10. Elevation to be 4. Okay, so if I give background color here as red to check, okay, so you can see here this elevation. If I close this app and open again, you won't see that. Okay, why? Because of the color. So I have to give background color or background color here as white. Okay, you can see this, and actually we want padding 10. Okay, this is looking good. Decent. Okay, so let's start with another component, which is task list. So I will say here task list .js or nfs. For now we will use flat list. Wait a minute, this is not giving me suggestions, so I have to check if it is installed or not. What happened? settings. Imports are not working. Okay, I will check that later. So what we will do here is we want flat list from React Native itself. Currently I want data const data as a dummy data, which is 4 items, and I will pass data as data and render item as task.js. Okay, so I will say rnfes. Currently I will say here as task1. Okay, and in flat list I will say here item task. So I will import here task from task. Okay, so yes, so what we have to do here is first we have to add this task list in after header. So this is task list from src. Okay, so here you can see this result, task1, task1, task1. Okay, so and we want UI like this. Okay, so for that, now what changes we have to do is first in header we have to increase font size by this and padding by 15. Okay, not okay, 22 maybe. Okay, this is looking decent for me. If I switch between two apps, then yes, you can see the result. Okay, actually 20 was right. Okay, and in task 1, 2, 3, as you can see here, we want more padding. So let's go there in task and style here styles dot task as padding horizontal 15, padding vertical 10, or maybe 15 itself. No, 10. Okay, so in task, what we want, first one is this checkbox. Okay, first one is that 3 dot icon, means 6 dot icon. So we have to find that icon. So I will say here React native vector icon, and in this operator or github.io I have to search here drag, yes, drag vertical, okay. I think we got this drag indicator. Let's switch back to our app and we will add here an icon. Okay, so icon name is reignite indicator. An icon will be imported from React Native vector icon slash my which icon, material icon, right, material icon. Okay, so you can say here, but we want size and everything, so I will say here size as 20 and color. So we are using that gray color again. So what I will do here is I will go to header, copy this color, mm, create one folder here as assets. In assets I will add constants, or for now I will say colors.js, and I will write here as gray, gray. I will say here as export default, so in here we can say like this, colors dot gray, and the same color we want it for this icon, colors dot gray. Okay, or maybe light gray. So we can say here, for understanding purpose I will say here light gray, and I will add here 1 1 1, or maybe okay, so this is light gray color which we will use for this icon. Okay, after that we want checkbox here. So let's try to import checkbox. Okay, so checkbox will be imported from this. Okay, so you can see the check mark. Okay, so if we go to their documentation, not right list, this documentation, where you can see what checkbox indicate and when we want to change that value. Okay, but what we want here is tint colors. Means when it is true, which color we want, when it is false, which color we want. So I will say here tint color as true color and colors dot light gray and false as currently red. Okay, so you can see here as this is not filled, so they are red, and if this is filled, they are normal. So for now I will say white. Suppose if I say white, then those are not visible, so I will say here black. Okay, ultimately I have to say here the same color. Okay, and then we want that input box. Import input from input. So you can see here input box, and we want all this in a single line. So I have to say flex direction as row, and I want this in you can say like straight line. So I will say align items center. Okay, so they are aligned center, and vertically I will say here padding as 5 because yes, padding as 5 or maybe 0. No, we have to do some padding. 5 is too much. Okay, 2 is well and good. Okay, so this is looking decent. So one part is missing here is our fab icon. Okay, so let's add that fab icon. So simply I will copy this in app.js. I will say fab icon. So I have to import that fab from from where? From React Native fab, and also this is all out. A React Native vector icons. Let's see. If I close this and open again, you will see 500 error. Why? Because of React Native vector icon. So plus icon. So let's search for plus icon. Plus plus. plus, or you can say here add. So material icon. So we are using material icon, so I will use material icon again. I have to reload this. So here you can see, okay, and you can see here missing keys. Okay, for that in task list we have to pass key extractor, which is from item. I will say here as item plus encounter same key. Item plus. Okay, so and as you can see we have red color here, but we want black. So again I will go to my app.js and I will add a colors dot gray. Okay, so if I click on this plus button, I will add that another item. Okay, okay, so this is design, and now we will add functionality in this design. So how we will add? So what we have to do here is we have to first we need all task. So currently if you see here in task list we have dummy data here, so we have to remove this data and pass data as a prop. Okay, so we have to pass here data, or you can say like task list. So we need a task list, so we will create state for that, which is use state, and we say task list, and I will say here set task list. Currently for now I will add here const dummy data. Okay, so what is dummy data? Here is, first of all, it is array, and in that array we want id to be 1, means some integer. Then we can say task as task 1 and it's completed. So currently I will say here false. So I will copy this, just change id to 2. Task here is new task 2. Here is my task 3. Welcome to React Native. Okay, so 3, 4, and this task is completed. Welcome to React Native. Okay, and we will add that dummy data here. And as you can see here, use state is not defined, so we have to import this. Here you can see use state from React. Okay, so you can see here 4, right? And now what I want here is first the text. So let's try to add a text in input. So task list, you go here, atom, I will pass. So we need key. So I can say here as item dot key plus this, because key is always string, so I'm converting number to string, so it will become a string. Okay, and then this is task, so I will say here task as item dot task, and here I can say it's completed as item dot is completed. So we will restructure here as destructure props. So we are passing these props to this task component, and we are destructuring task and is completed. Task and is completed, or is complete. Okay, so not completed, sorry for that. It's complete. In dummy data also we have to say here is, okay, is complete. So task is complete. Okay, so we go to task component again, and here you can see we have to pass something. We have to pass something here in the task. So what we will pass? We have to pass, first of all, we can destructure here and say props, props, and I will use this props here. Okay, so these are my props. So I can access here as value. So if we go to, wait a minute, documentation, React native document, sorry, in text input, text input. Okay, so here you can see the properties we can pass. So value, we need value, and we can say our value as task. So you can see here, and I can edit, right? So this is how it is, and basically this is remaining part of design, you can say, but this is not a design, this is kind of functionality, and we have to add this is completed. So in checkbox, do we have it checked, or wait a minute, we have to see the documentation of this checkbox to see the properties. You have to always read the documentation. Okay, so we can see our value and on change value. So I will just copy this and value age is completed, and on change value is currently nothing, means we are not changing anything here. Okay, so let's just open this app. It's complete. Why this is not true? This last one is true, right? So we have to just check what is wrong with this. Item dot is complete. We have data. Go to app.js. It's complete. We are passing a task list there to data. In task list we have is complete, and here we can say complete is complete, and it's complete. Okay. Now if we just remove this and restart app again, then you can see last one is selected. And also we want style to this text. Okay, so we want style to this text input. Okay, so for that what I will do here is we can simply add style here as if task is complete, then we want text decoration to be wait a minute, not text decoration, I think overlay. I have to check what is the property. Line above text in React Native. Strike. Okay, how to add strike? So we can add, okay, line through text decoration solid. So we will copy this and I will explain you what is this. Okay, text decoration line through, and text decoration style is solid. And if it is not complete, then just the empty style. So you can see the result. Okay, and if I say this, okay, this is not working because we are not changing the state, the actual state. Okay, so that's why it is not working. Okay, so what we have to do here is we will add that later. First, let's try to add new task. Okay, so how we add a new task? By clicking on the plus button. So let's go to app.js. When I will click on this button, the new component or new task will generate. So I have to say here set, or I have to say here like this, const handle add task. Okay, in add task I have to say we have to just remove everything and just add task. When I click on add task, I have to add an empty element in this task list, which is, so currently I want to generate a random number. So what I will do here is math dot floor math dot random from 10 into 1000. So this is the random number, and a task is empty and its complete is obviously false because we are adding. So task is will get it. Okay. So let's try. So if I click on plus button, wait a minute. Let's clear everything. Let's try to open again. If I click on plus button, then nothing happens. Okay. Why? Because we are not maintaining the previous state. Okay. So what we have to do is const new item or new task is equal to this, and here we have to say we have to keep track of previous state plus we want new task. Okay. If I close this app and open this again, then you will see the result. I can type, but I can't type. Okay. So yes, this is how we can add the new text input. Okay. Now what we have to do here is when I click on this add button, we have to focus that last element. So how we can focus to that last element? Okay, it's simple. If this is new, then we can add here focus, not focus. Uh, if this is last element, no, we don't want to add to every last element. We want to add this when user click, and when user click here, then we want to focus that text input. So how we can do that? Let's try to achieve that. Okay. We can do something like in task input. We have to say here, not reference, we have to say here focus, and how to check if this is entered by user and not the last element. It's simple. We just have to go here and sorry, add here as focus true. Okay, focus, focus, and we have to check if this is the last element. Okay, so how we can check if this is the last element or not? What we have to do here is we need data, we need index also maybe. Okay, I will share is last. Data dot length is equal to index data dot length minus 1 is equal to index, then it is the last. Okay, last element. We have to go here and we have to add two things, which is focus and is last. So I will add here like if it is the last and focus, then obviously true, else false. Encounter two children with the same key. Encounter two children with the same key. Okay, so we have to just solve this warning first. Okay, so we can just simply say here atom dot key plus maybe task we want to add, because that will be very unique. Okay, so I add here. Okay, I can add, but this is not focused. Okay, we will check this later because this is just a small part. Okay, let's try to add or type type. For that we have to go ahead and say on change text. On change text we want handle text or handle input. Okay, so handle input, so everything will handle in this app.js. So we have to pass this to task list handle input. So handle input is one function which get text const handle input this to task list. We have to go here, we have to add handle input here, we have to add handle input here, so we have to add handle input here, and in task we can pass a text to handle input. So basically what we are doing here is we are referencing this handle input function to handle input prompt. What we have to do here to handle that text, we just have to go here and say const temporary task is equal to my all task, which is task list, temporary task list. Okay, and here I have to say temporary task list with that specific index. Okay, so index may be vary. So what I have to do here is index means array of index. We don't want array of index. We want map maybe. Yes, we want map. While mapping, we have to check if atom dot id is equal to task id, then we have to say here atom dot is complete. Sorry, not is complete. Atom dot task is equal to this text. Okay, and we have to set task list as template. So let's try and check. Okay, so keyboard is closing. A Y because state is changed. Mm, okay, this is not what I want. Okay, so here is one solution. Is if I remove everything from here, no, if I remove everything, then how we can change the text, right? We have to change the text by doing this. So what we are doing here is we are adding the text Okay, I got it. Here is one solution which is here is one solution. In task, we are passing this value and change text, right? So currently, let's keep this as it is. Let's go to input and say here as a value, okay? And we will use here use state to maintain the state. And I will say here as a text input and set text in. So I will say here value as set text, okay, or text in, and text input is the value, and then we can change this text using this task list. We don't need this here. If we go to input, let's try to add this and set text is equal to text, right? So let's try to add some characters. You can see it is working. Okay, and if I click here, then we want to store that. Okay, so what was means what I was doing wrong is I was setting directly to the task list. Means if we go here, means this approach is bad because if I type SA means more than, you can see if I type thousands of words, then this state will change 1,000 times, which is bad. So what we have to do means this actual the main state, the all task state will change 1,000 times, which is bad. So we have to handle that state inside of the component, which is not dependent on this main component, means app component. So this is our input component, which is separate. You can see here, and we are handling state here. So if this changes, then means anything in this state changes that won't affect the other state. Means if I change, go here and change as hello, it doesn't affect my other states, okay, and it is not reloading multiple times, it is loading only once, okay. So we have to recognize this, okay, we have to analyze this, okay. So at the end, if I say okay, then we want to submit this to the task, okay. So we have to check which method we required to handle this. Which method? On submit. On submit editing means callback call when text in the submit button is pressed, right? This is submit button, right? Blur submit on submit editing. So let's try and check. If I say this and we get event text, and let's console.log text. Let's go to this. If I go here and add some data and click, then you can see here bunch of information. Okay, so what we have to do here is press with the argument native event. So we have to find native event, or let's see on submit editing example in React Native. On submit editing, triggered when you click on text input submit keyboard button. Okay, so this is button on submit editing if you want to edit text. Now event, and this is my text. Okay, so this is how we can handle this. So event, native event. Let's go to our code and say here as this, and we can say here as event. Let's go here, type something, some. You can see your text, right? So this is my text, and if I go to here and if I say type something and submit, okay, so you can see here dot text. So basically we want dot text. Now we want this. Now we want this here, while we can say handle input. Okay, handle input. So handle input required task ID. So let's pass ID. Okay, so let's go to app.js, and yes, that's it. We need this text. We are getting the task ID and we are changing this. Okay, so now if you check here, if I click here and say hello, uh, hello, and click save, boom, boom. Okay, so this is working. So how to check that this is working or not? So we can just say console.log and our task list. what happened? Let's reload this. Okay, so these are my 4 tasks. So you can see here task 1, task 2, task 3. Now if I go to task 1 and say here edit and say this, you can see task is edited. Okay, so this is looking good and nice. So let's first part is completed. Addition. Let's try to mark this as complete and incomplete. So we can say here handle task complete. Handle task complete. So we can mark here as complete or incomplete. Now we need just task ID and uh, we have to say here is complete to whatever the state and opposite to that state. So we have to say here handle complete and we will pass this handle complete to this handle complete in task list. In task list we will pass here okay. So now we will pass this handle complete to my task. Okay, so you can see many props we are passing. Okay, and at the last you can say handle complete. So handle complete is there. Okay, on change value I will say a new value. Hmm, oh, not a new value. We can say here as ID. So let's try and check. Okay, and how to know if this is working or not? Okay, same. Let's clear our console. Let's start our app again. Okay, and as you can see, our last state is complete true, right? So if I click here, and now it is false. Task 1 is complete. Yes, okay. So second part is also completed. Task edit. So edit task is also completed because we can edit task. Yes, add and edit. Okay, both are completed. Let's see if I type here and type here as a new task. So here 5. Okay. So yes. Let's try to delete. Okay, so how to delete this? Means we want button, right? We want icon to delete it. So I will go to my task and we will add here icon name close close. Okay, you can see it, right? But we want this to be at the last. So I will say here style as style dot row. We have to first align this again. Okay, and we just have to add justify content space between to this whole task. Okay, and also we will add size. You can see we are using 20 and color. Okay, so let's add the same. Let's keep the consistency. Okay, now I want to delete this. How we can delete? So for that I have to say here on press handle delete. Handle delete. Handle delete. Handle delete. Handle delete. And in app.js we have to say here handle delete. Okay, so again we need task ID, but this time we filter everything like const filtered task is equal to uh, task list dot filter atom dot or atom. If atom dot id is not equal to task id, then we want all data, and at the last we have to set here filter data. So let's try and check. Can we remove this? We have to pass id. Okay, so let's go here to handle delete. Okay, and let's pass id. Okay, so I will delete the first item. Okay, delete, 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 delete. Great, it is working. Now That part is also completed. Add update delete completed. Okay. Hmm. So this drag and drop or rearranging of tasks is bit hard. Means I have tried few libraries, but they are not working properly. So what I have tried is this dynamic flat list and uh, normal flat. So I recorded this everything, but I will cut that part because those are not proper, or maybe you can say like efficient. They are causing few errors in our application, so I removed that. Means not actually removed that. I removed that from our this recording. So if you guys get any solution regarding this, like trackable flat list, or if you're able to achieve this, means wait, let me just show you. If you go to done app, if you're able to achieve this, then let me know how you did, because I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know how to do this. I have tried, but they are causing some problems in our application. So let me know. I will be happy. Okay. So this is how. Okay. So we can add one more thing. It's empty state. Okay. So if you go to done app and if you remove everything, so I know they have this when it is in focus, but I want to delete this every time. Okay. Mm, I want to delete this. Okay. So let's go to our in mm, to our task, and in task you can see focus is the last. Oh, then I will say true. Okay. So you can see here no task and this. So we can use this image. We will go to draw. What was it? Drawer. No, undraw. Sorry, undraw. Okay, and we will browse here as search here for the empty state. Empty. Okay. So these are tasks. So I want tasks to be empty. Then we can just say add task. Okay. So we can download SVG or PNG. But I want change in color, which is bit of grayish, or maybe our blue color. Okay. So add notes, download PNG image. So I will copy this image in our React Native done clone app assets. In assets, I will create one folder as image and I will place it. Okay, so here you can see in React Native the clone app in assets, I have created images or image as a folder and I will rename this as empty. Okay, so let's go to our code and handle this. Okay, if. Okay, flat list provide you the functionality of the empty list. So if we go to flat list, just search here flat list. You can say empty list empty component, right? So if this is list is empty, then we can pass here empty state component. So we will create here one component which is empty state or empty .js and yes, and I will say here no tasks. Okay, and in task list I will import that empty component. Okay, so let's open our app. Okay, you can see here. Let's remove this. Okay, you can see no task. Okay, so let's add image here, image, and we can add here source as empty. So I can import here empty from assets from images from empty.png, and this is my source style. I can stay here. I can say here as image, and width is obviously the 100%, and height is 80%. Okay, this is not looking good. Flex one is obviously. So let's give height here as dimensions dot get. I want dimension of my device, which is dot get dot screen of height divided by 1.5. Okay, same for the width. Okay, resize mode cover, or maybe contain, not contain. Okay, this is looking good. And now we want, you can see there is color difference. So when I will go to my app.js, I will add here style as background color white. And also, if you can see here, this is grayish. So I want status bar, and we can say here background color is equal to white, and the property which is bar style is equal to dark content. Okay, so you can see this is looking good, and we want task to be at the center and images to be at the center. So let's go to empty state, align self center. Okay, style, font size 20, font weight bold, and text align center. And your with just uh, no task, create shopping list and to-do list, to-do items. Create shopping list and to-do items. Okay, so let's add here maybe voting. Okay, so you can add here 18, no task, margin bottom right. Okay, so you can add a boom. Wow. Okay, so this is our app, and that's it for today's video. You can add here a draggable flat list. If you want to add anything more, you can add, let me know. You can ping me on Instagram, and you can share your design, or you can select application on Instagram. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.